want to just head over to the group meeting quiz thingy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Julia, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. You guys are still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I feel like I've lost the screen there for a minute. I don't know what's going on. Normally don't have this hard of a time. Gosh darn it. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move over to the lesson thing. Okay. Is everybody opening it up?
Yeah.
I've got it open.
Okay. I hadn't gotten mine open yet. It takes me a little bit to get it started. Alrighty.
Did you
I'll
guys
just
feel
read.
like the textbook wasn't
Did I what?
a whole lot of help?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Did you guys feel like the textbook wasn't really a whole lot of help? I mean,
You know what?
things, but as far as helping with the problems, it didn't help.
The thing is, it does, but you have to really like look through it a lot. Like it's not done in a way where you can very easily follow it. The only thing that I find helps me is, you know, the sample questions that it does after it teaches you something and then it says answer these questions and it hides the answer.
Yes.
Okay. So in the box is most of the nuggets of what the questions are. That's personally what I have found. Yeah, the book itself, it's not super duper helpful. It's not, I mean, as far as I don't know. I think it has the stuff in it, but the way it presents it, it's really weird. I don't like it personally.
Yeah.
All right. So we can all answer the first two questions pretty easily. And then I can go to question 3. And it's telling us to remind us to, here it says, round to the 3 decimal places. And so when it says round to the 3 decimal places, that means 0.000, right? 3 numbers after the decimal?
Yeah.
Right. Or is it 1 number and then 2 numbers after the decimal?
No, 3 numbers after the decimal.
Yeah. Do you want me to read number 3?
Sorry. Yes, go ahead if you like.
When you're taking a sample size of n equals 5, what is the shape of the distribution of means histogram when a parent population is skewed right? Skewed right, normal, or skewed left?
I'm going to go with skewed right.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Okay. Has everyone got that? Or
Yeah.
why skewed right? Okay.
And so N100, oh, sorry. I could read number 4.
Yeah, go for it.
When you are taking sample size of N100, what is the shape of the distribution of means histogram when the parent population is right skewed? And so since it's N100, would that make it normal?
I think so. This one confuses me because it mentions right skewed, but then it mentions that this is 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be normal.
Because the sample size.
If not, we'll know next time what it is.
That's true.
So that's how I'm looking at it.
Do you want to read?
Okay, I'll do the next one. When you are taking a sample size n equals 5, what is the shape of the distribution of means histogram when the parent population is normally distributed?
Normal?
I would say nah. When the parent is, yeah, I would say normal.
I feel like these are tricky.
Yeah, I feel like they're too easy, and so I'm questioning.
How many questions do we have? We have 12. Okay, they'll get worse. Don't worry.
I'll do 6. When you're taking a sample size of n equals 100, what is the shape of the distribution of means histogram when the parent population is normally distributed?
Normal.
Normal. I know that one for sure is normal, which makes me think the other one was, but what fit right now? Because I don't know. I'm so stupid. Go ahead.
When would the distribution of means be normally distributed? When data are drawn from a population that is normally distributed and the sample size is small. Data are drawn from the population that is normally distributed and the sample size is large.
Yep.
Data are drawn from a population that is skewed right and the sample size is small. No. Data are drawn from a population that is skewed right and the sample size is large. So
Oh, these are so tricky.
I marked the first two and the last one because according to our answers above, like
I
they
think
match up with what we did above.
actually it should be I honestly feel like it should be statement 2 and statement 4. So are you saying it doesn't one match one of the ones that we did up there?
Yeah, so question 5.
Okay, let's go to question
The
5.
sample size N5, so it's like a smaller sample size. What is the shape of the distribution means histogram when the parent population is normally distributed, and we put normal. And so that's what's the first one saying is if the data is drawn from a population that is normally
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree now. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Maybe
so
we are right. I don't know, guys. So
we could go back and change it like you said because we could take it.
I'm so conflicted.
I'm so conflicted.
Okay.
Number 8.
Okay.
Wait, is it your turn? My turn? Whose turn?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I'll go.
Okay.
Which of the following gives the best explanation of the central limit theorem? Let me read over these. We can look in our notes, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we can.
This is going to be a note thing I have to look up. Sorry.
Either the first one or the last one. So it's either if the parent population from which the data are drawn is normally distributed, then the sample mean X will follow a normal distribution. Or if the sample size is large, the shape of the distribution of sample means will approximate normal.
Well, what was the other one you thought it was? I'm sorry, you thought it was the last one?
The last one.
The first one, okay.
It's definitely the last one.
Okay.
Because my notes say the central limit theorem states that if the sample size is large, the sample mean will be approximately normally distributed.
Okay. Perfect.
Is there only one answer? No, it seems like there's only one answer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the last one.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm going with it.
All right, here's where the fun starts.
Okay.
So number 9, what is the mean of the distribution of sample mean? And let X be a random variable with a population mu equals 10 and population standard deviation is 6. Suppose a sample of size n equals 36 is drawn from the population.
So this one, don't you just do standard deviation over n, the square root of n?
That's what I think.
I don't know. I'm confused whether, hold on. I'm confused whether this is just the answer where it's the same you know how some of those questions, it was like, what is the distribution mean? And you could just put, it was the same as the population mean versus when you have to do the other. So I think because it's the mean of distribution, it's just 10. If it was the standard deviation, then we do the formula.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I see. I'm looking at it right now. That's great.
Same thing.
So,
So it'd be 10.
I think so, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch.
My apologies if it's wrong.
No, I think you're right, because the next one looks like the formula one.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah. What is the standard deviation of the distribution of sample means?
All right.
So this is, we're going to go the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Is that what it is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so it's O divided by the square root of n, correct? Is that the formula?
Yeah. So I get 1.
Yeah, 6 divided by 6. I don't know why I even went to.
Hold on a second. Let me just double check that just really quick. Really quick. There's so many stinking formulas that it starts kind of melting together for me, personally.
See, and that's what I mean about the textbook, because it didn't really.
No, it doesn't. And it
Right.
uses different names for it
Kind
sometimes.
of problem, you're going to do this formula. For this kind of problem, you're going to do this. You know what I mean? The textbook doesn't say that.
I need them to dumb it up for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like step by step kind of thing.
Yes, I agree.
One also.
Perfect.
I'm going with it.
Yeah, the next 11 and 12 are fairly simple.
Okay.
Actually,
Regardless-
11. So regardless of the distribution of population, if the sample size is large, what would be the shape of the distribution of the sample mean? So if we go to the notes from the textbook, so like n is greater than 30,
Mhm.
it's
saying
that
normal.
central limit theorem or law of large numbers. Let me see which one it is.
I would say it's normal.
Yeah, that's what I put. I put it was normal. And then for 12, it's asking to justify your response to the last question. So would it be central limit theorem or the law of large numbers?
I think it's the theorem, but hold
Yeah, I
on.
think so too. I'm trying to find it where, because I'm pretty certain I just read that, but now I'm like questioning if I really did read that.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, because does
It's not talking about the standard deviation, right? It's talking about.
talking
Yeah,
about the
okay.
sample
If
size.
it was talking about the standard deviation, then I think we would be talking about the law of large numbers.
Yeah.
But if it's talking about the mean, I believe we're talking about the central limit theorem.
Yeah, that's what I just found. It says the sample size is if the sample size is at least 30, we will conclude that the sampling distribution of X will be approximately normal. Excuse me.
Yep, I found the same thing.
Okay. We ready to?
Yeah, here we go. This was like,
This was too easy.
I know.
Fine if did
We
you
are,
the preparation stuff? Did you guys do that?
yeah.
the what?
I have a question on the last question on that preparation thing.
Okay,
Okay.
here, let me.
You guys mind if we go through that? If this
Yeah, that's not a problem. Should we submit this first? And
Yeah, we got 100%.
we did?
we did. Yay us!
On the first time around.
Nice.
So you have
Nicely
a
done,
question,
girl.
Karen, on number 8B?
Yeah,
In total.
let me get there real quick.
Hold on. And you're talking about for the preparation assignment for lesson 6, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And which one of the 8?
I think it's the last. Oh, here it is. The last two, but let me look at it real quick and make sure. Okay, it's that number 8, and then it's got 4 parts.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So I just didn't,
So
I
which,
didn't
sorry.
know how to do it, and so I wanted to make
Did you
sure.
not know how to do all A, B, C, and D, or is it just C and D? I'm sorry, I just want to clarify.
C and D.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so what
Do
is
you want to explain C?
that's kind of like the one where it's just 529, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
I know.
Yep.
What is the standard deviation of scores for all samples? Can we do that same formula for number D?
Exactly. Yeah. You got it.
So do you see how on C it should mention the mean, and on D it should be asking you for the standard deviation?
Okay. So
Yeah.
it
So
mentions
that's the difference. I just wanted you to know why you were doing it when you were doing it, because I know when they quiz you, it's not going to be that clear. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So if it asks me for the sample mean, then I would just put the mean that it gives us in the explanation.
Of the parent mean, right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then when it gives the standard deviation, then we do that standard deviation divided by the square root of n.
Yep.
Got it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's all.
Bravo.
Like,
Hey,
what?
I have a question for you guys. How did you do on the lesson 5 homework quiz?
Oh, I didn't do very well at all. I think I got like a 70%.
I didn't do well on that either, and I have to tell you, I'm still confused. I'm like, and it's bothering me. I'm like, why can I not understand it? And I was just curious, and hold on, I'll have to find it. I'll have to find, because I honestly, I like took a picture of it because it was driving me insane. Stupid. I didn't even do it over. I'm like, if I don't understand, what's the point? Like, I don't even understand what they're asking me. So I was just wondering, when there's one that really, hold on. Okay, when it asked you to find the percentile of something,
Mm-hmm.
what the heck do you do exactly?
Oh gosh.
It's okay. If you don't know, no big deal. I'm gonna
Do more.
send it to the TA.
Do you
Okay.
remember which question it was?
It was, well, I don't know if it's the same question that it was on yours, but on mine, it was the last question. It was question 10,
Yes,
which is said
I got
30th.
I got that one wrong at first, and then I redid it, and I got it right. And now I'm trying to think of how I did that. Because I got 146.8.
Yeah, that thing just annoys me. And it's asked a couple of different times. I've gotten stuck on something like that. And I'm like, okay, clearly I don't understand what I'm supposed to do when it's asking me something like that.
You know, with this lesson, I was trying to remember formulas and plug in the numbers, and I was getting so confused with what to do. I actually hired a tutor because it's the only way I'm going to get through this class. I'm not even kidding. Because I took it last semester and got about halfway through, and I had kind of a family emergency, kind of a tragic situation, so I had to drop the class. I took the first test and I got an F. I did horrible. And so, and I did horrible when I was doing things on my own because I just did not understand what I was doing. And so I have to take this class to graduate. So when I re-enrolled in it, I'm like, I'm going to have to get a tutor, and I'm going to have to pay a tutor in order to work one-on-one with me to kind of help me understand. So and she does help me understand, but at the same time, I don't know it well enough where I could do it on my own. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
If somebody is showing me what to do and go, okay, now you do this, then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You almost have to, like, on the ones that you get stuck on, I think are the ones that, quite frankly, aren't going to go away. They're the ones that are a little bit more complicated, and they're going to keep popping up, is my experience, which is really annoying. But what I need is, I just need someone to, like, do it and like take a picture of it, send it to me, and then I'll know. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just need like a step-by-step process. Like,
Let me find the notes real quick because
I can't do it any other way. Like, I can't just, because even if I figure it out 1 second, I'm not going to remember. You know, I can plug in a bunch of numbers, but that's not.
give me a second. This might take a minute because I have papers everywhere.
You're fine.
Yeah, and then I know we get 1 page of notes on one side for the quiz that we can use. And I don't even know what to write down because I need help on all of it. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I contacted the TA because I'm hoping she's someone like, if I can send her a document form and I can put on there like what my questions are based on questions from the past, even if I failed it or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to know what to do from here on so I don't keep getting the same stupid question wrong.
Because the tutor that I'm working with, she graduated with a bachelor's degree in statistics. And I'm like,
Yuck.
how do you do that?
I'm like, yuck.
Loves it. She just, and some people do, so it's cool. But
Well, I like numbers too, but again, it needs to make a little bit more sense. And the notes, and the other thing that really, really annoys me is that I feel like it purposely tries to confuse you.
I agree.
Like, instead of like just giving you like a normal like story or whatever, they have to add like PC3 or whatever after the name of something. And it's like, why do you
Which
have
means
to do
nothing. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
all you're doing is trying to create more stress.
Okay, so let's see. I've got what I wrote down. I've got 0.385 because I think that's what came out of the applet. We put it in the applet and that's what came out is the 0.385, I think, for the Z-score. And then you do the formula X and then it's minus 150.7, which is in the explanation above question 7 over 10.2. So then you have to, do the algebra where you multiply 10.2 from both sides. And then you get.
And then you add the 157?
Well, you would multiply 10.2 times 0.385. I think it's a negative 0.385. And then you get negative 1150.7. And then you have to multiply 10.2 from the other side because that's not statistics, that's just algebra. Because we're trying to get rid of the 10.2, so we've got everything on one line. You know how we do in algebra?
Uh-huh.
Then we've got, is that right? Or maybe I did something else. I'd be a terrible tutor, just telling you. 0.85 times 0.2.
We're following you.
So what you would do, so then once you multiply 10.2 times both sides, then you get a negative 3.927 and then equals 150.7. Then you have to add 150.7 to both sides, and that's where you're getting the 146.8. Does that make sense?
I think so, but you're adding 150.7, right? That's
Yeah,
what you're
because you have to get X by itself. So you've got the negative 3.927 because 10.2 times a negative 0.387 is the negative 3.927, and then equals X minus the 150.7 because now we've eliminated the 10.2 from the other side. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Then you have to go further because you have to get X by itself. So then you're going to add the 150.7 to both sides because it's a negative. It's x minus 150.7. So you're going to then add 150.7. So now you've got x by itself, but you've got to do it to the other side. So you've got to add 150.7 minus the 3.927, and it gives you 148.6 equals x.
You mean 146.8?
What did I say?
148.6, I think.
I don't know what I said, but 146.8, yeah.
You're like, but I meant that.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
that kind of makes a little sense better?
A little bit, yeah, I think so.
Because
Well, the other I can look at it is that.
at first I got like something else. I don't remember. I can go back and look, and I got it wrong. So then I went back and went, oh, I didn't do the next step, which is what I just told you. I didn't do that formula once I got that 0.385. I think the answer I put down first was the 0.385, and I got that from the applet because that's the 35th percentile.
Yeah, it is.
And
It is.
so you have to do, but it's a negative. So you have to do the negative 0.385 and then do the
Why
formula.
is it negative?
I think because how it was shaded in the applet.
Okay.
But then you have to do that formula where it's the x minus the mean over the standard deviation. So that's the formula that I use.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thank
The
you.
rest is just algebra. It's just working the problem. You've got to get rid of that 10.2 because what we're trying to do is you got to get x by itself.
Right.
You're going to solve the equation. So anyway, that's the math you use. But I have found that with doing this quiz or this homework thing or or lesson 5 just in itself is drawing out the diagram. The 68, 95, and 99.7, that bell-shaped curve.
Uh-huh.
And then fitting in the numbers that it gives you instead of trying to do an equation, because equations confuse me.
Oh, okay.
Some people prefer them, and that's
I do. I
that's
hate.
fine.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not a big geometry person.
Yeah. I'm more of a visual person. I've got to see it, and equations don't do it for me. So for me, I have found that if I write out that bell-shaped curve and then just kind of plug in the numbers and then loosely put in, okay, where's the 68th percentile? Where's the 95? Where's the 99.7? And then is it less than, more than, whatever? Then I can see it and it makes more sense. And that's kind of what the tutor showed me how to do. She goes, just draw it out and then plug in whatever. And so now it makes more sense to me. Am I still confused a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm still going to have to study it before I do the test and stuff, but it makes more sense than it did before. So, I mean, that's just what works.
Yeah, that homework quiz, for 5, that homework quiz, I ended up understanding it fine, except for there's still some questions that I don't understand.
Yeah.
That really bug me that I don't understand, because I'm like, okay, I'm sure this is like really stupid. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not even that hard. And it keeps talking about the 68, 95, 99.7 rule.
Mhm.
And I'm like, it still doesn't click. Like I know how to do the 68, 95, 99 thing,
Mhm.
but I don't know what they're asking me. Like how to use it in terms of what they're wanting.
Yeah.
So
Well, those numbers, so you've got the mean that goes right down the middle of that bell-shaped curve. And so if you draw a line right down the middle of that bell-shaped curve, that's going to be your mean, whatever the mean is they give you. So it can be any number. It can be 1,000, it can be 5. So whatever mean they give you is where that's going to be. And then 68% of that bell-shaped curve makes up a certain part of that population, or certain, because that bell-shaped curve represents a population. So 68% is 68% of that population. So there's going to be, she did a fantastic explanation. I really appreciated it when you opened up your thing today and it gave you, how she always gives us a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
That diagram she gave really helped a lot, because let me pull it up real fast.
I'm gonna go look at it too.
And where is that?
It's just
So it's on the announcement page. So if you just click on your Math 221C button up at the top, and then she gives a diagram. So that 34, so that line right down the middle, tell me when you guys are both there and I'll try to, okay.
I'm not.
So it shows the center of that bell-shaped curve. See where it says 34 and 34 on both sides?
Mm-hmm.
That equals the 68%. So if that line right down the middle, that's your mean or your mu. And then those 34 on both sides equal your 68. So you've got a negative part of that 68 and a positive part of that 68. So that 34 and 34 equals the 68. Then if you add in that 13.5 on both sides to that 68, that's where you get your 95. So it's just kind of diagramming where the 68 is. Then if you add those 13.5 on both sides, that's your 95. And then if you add the 2.35 on both sides, that's your 99.7. So that's going to be
That is helpful. Thank
Yeah.
you for pointing that out, because I didn't look at it. I was like,
and that 0.15 are kind of like outliers, because that 68, 95, and 99.7 are 1 standard deviation from the mean, 2 standard deviations from the mean, and 3 standard deviations from the mean. So that 0.15 goes beyond that 3 standard deviations from the mean. But if you add up that 15, 30, all of those numbers, it equal 100%. So that would be 100% of your thing.
okay, so that thing on the bottom where she has, I think that's mean minus 3, is that standard deviation?
Yes.
Okay, what? 3 times the standard deviation, 2. Okay, so that's the 68. Okay, got it. Never mind.
Yep. So this
with you.
explanation, for me, it kind of clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And she explains it. If you read through, the thing, because she's saying that a lot of people are struggling with it. So she's kind of explaining it a little bit more. That if you've got a problem, so she says, for example, in the homework, they stated that the test scores followed a normal distribution with a mean of 70 and a standard deviation of 10. And then for this data, within 1 standard deviation would mean 70, which that's why she's got those numbers in green underneath it. That's just for this problem. So those numbers will change depending on what the problem is. So for this problem, 70 is the mean.
The middle.
Yep. So she's got 70 right there. So if you're doing a standard deviation of 10, then you would go 70 plus 10 is 80. So, and 70 minus 10 is 60. So that's your 68 percentile right there. So between 60 and 80 is your 68 percentile. Then if you go 2 standard deviations from the mean, you're going to go 70, and then 10 times 2, because you're going to do 2 standard deviations. So that's 2 times 10, because the standard deviation's 10. And then you would do it on the other side to the negative. So that's going to be 50 to 90. So anywhere between 50 and 90 is your 95 percentile. And then 3 standard deviations would be your 42.
Okay, I'll have to look it through and see if more connects with it. Yeah, that last homework quiz, that was awful.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It took me a long time.
It was yucky. And my daughters had their recital. So I honestly could not spend the time like retaking it.
Yeah.
So I took it one time and I was like, by the time I could have retaken it again, it was too close to the deadline, and I don't do well like when I'm under the clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. And I got, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, I got what I got, whatever.
See, and I'm terrified for the quiz because I did so bad last semester on it. I mean, I did horrible. And then I go to my group meeting and everybody's like, what'd you get on the quiz? And everybody's like, I got a 93.
Oh my gosh.
7. And I'm like, I got like 50 something. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't like rush through it. I just didn't understand it. I just didn't.
Right.
And did I spend the time I should have? No, I didn't. So it's my fault. I thought I knew what I was doing, but obviously I didn't know what I was doing.
I just wish multiple choice too. That's the other thing.
Great.
I'm like, can you give me multiple choice, please?
Yeah.
Instead of me coming up with a number from nothing. Yeah.
I know that she's gonna do a study thing on Friday morning, and she's gonna record it. So, I mean, if you can go, I would say go and ask her the question that you have.
Dang it.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to go, so if I don't, I'm going to watch the recording.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm at work, so I won't be able to.
Right. And I bet most people are. So anyway, that's just a busy time for me. You know, if it was a little bit later in the afternoon, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean, I had to get a tutor to sit and we Skype each other so I don't have to go anywhere. It's easy. I
That's
mean,
nice.
but
Is it through you?
no, she's my girlfriend's daughter. And I have something on Facebook about, because I dread this stuff, and I think I've convinced myself that I suck at it. And so
It makes it harder to get over
it
that.
makes it harder. And then I don't even want to try because I convinced myself that I don't know what I'm doing. So why bother, you know?
Right.
So I kind of have to psych myself out for it as well. I don't know. It's just hard for me. And so
Yeah.
I have to pass this class in order to graduate. So that's why I did that.
Yeah.
And it's helped, but yeah, it's my girlfriend's daughter. She graduated from BYU like within the last year, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fresh too.
Yeah. But she's showing me a different way to do it. And the way she's showing me makes more sense to me. See, I wish in the book, you know, like in a normal math class, you read whatever the stuff is, and then it gives you problems to do. That's what the preparation thing is, but it's not enough.
Yep.
I wish it were just like problem after problem after problem after problem of the exact same scenario,
Yeah.
so that it's repetitious, you know, and then it goes on to the next thing and explains what the difference is and then does problems like that. And
Yeah.
then you get it.
Because I have a hard time even with like, I noticed some of my mistakes come from, for example, in the applet, not knowing what to shade.
I agree.
Mhm.
I'm like, do I shade the middle? Because sometimes I have to shade the middle. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up with it. And so, and I'm sure that if I sat there and I really thought about it, maybe it would connect. But when you don't know, like you don't, in the moment that I do it, I don't think I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And then I go back, I'm like, oh, dang it. And
Yeah.
it's something as stupid as just, I didn't shade the right amount of stuff.
Right.
That's annoying to me.
And if you don't even know what to ask, then
Exactly. That's
Well,
the other
then how are you going to know how to figure it out? Yeah, I get it.
someone that I can just like send a document. Like I can, because I can do it on paper, and then the ones I can't do, like I can send it to them and then they can send me back what they do to solve it. Like I'm like, isn't there something like this I can just, because I really don't need the one-on-one necessarily. I just need to know the steps to do it. And I think once I can see the steps, I think I can fill in the blanks, so to speak.
Me too.
But
I'm kind
yeah.
of, I get it.
And it's really annoying because in the book, it shows you like the easy ones. Like it has the ones with no decimals, first of all, to round or whatever. And so it has like the whole numbers, first of all. Or it asks you something that's pretty simplified. And then in the quiz, it asks you for a much more complicated thing. And it's like, okay, obviously you didn't prepare me for that. Like you prepared me for the simple.
Right.
I just wish it would ask closer to what it's going to ask on the quiz from us.
I
Because
agree.
then I would be prepared.
Yep.
Because it's not like I'm not doing the assignments. It's just
I
I'm
agree.
doing the assignments, but they don't equal what they're asking for me in the quiz.
You're 100% right. I agree with you 100%.
Or at least like give me some credit for the stinking assignment that I'm doing. If you're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like it's like let me take the quiz on the assignment then, so that at least that counts. Then
Yeah, I would say the TA would probably be a lot of help, and email her and say, you know what?
I
don't
did.
want
I actually did this.
stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he or she. I don't even know.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
there's a
so her
website.
office hours though are very limited. Her office hours are totally limited, which I get because she's a student. So
Right.
I get it, but I was like, hey, is there a way? Basically, I opened it up to her. I'm like, how is there a way that I could just learn certain questions that I have that I could just kind of get a step-by-step showing me how to do it?
Yeah.
Plus, she says, depending on what she says, I might just ask her. I mean, like, I have the things that I do, and I have it all, you know, because I have it all done, and I even leave the ones I don't know. I even put, like, the question of what I don't know, so I don't forget what I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. But, so it wouldn't be hard for someone who knows what they're doing to look at it and go, oh, yeah, just do this, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know there's a
I
website called Chegg. It's CHEGG.com.
Mhm.
You have to pay for it. It's like $15 a month, so it's not much. But you do everything, you know, through the website. So you can, and that's what they like you to do is send them the questions, and then they send you explanations of how to kind of work it out. And then if you have further questions, then you kind of work that way with a tutor. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what you do. And you can do that at midnight if you want. There's people on there at midnight
Yeah.
or whatever time. So
Yeah. I just, you don't even have to, you know, you can just take a picture of it. I don't even care. Like, it doesn't even have to be that fancy for me. Like, just
Yeah.
take a picture of it and send it to me.
Yep.
We're good.
Got it.
So, anyway, thank you, girls.
We'll help each other to get through it all.
Yeah.
So we did good on the quiz. So, you know,
Yeah, we did really good. And we went
Yeah.
through that really fast too.
we
so-
did. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
All right.
And we will.
How do
Who
you get
wants
Oh, there's
Thursday?
the link. Okay. I will put the link on there.
Okay.
If there's a problem
Yeah.
with the link, let me know.
Okay.
You have to post it to YouTube to get a link.
Okay.
Do you
Well, it should-
know?
Because that's what I go through. I go through YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, good. Perfect.
So it should do its thing, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You
You
want me
too.
to-
Oh, it would be Sophie's turn on Thursday.
Oh, Sophie's turn. Okay.
Why don't can you email Sophie between now
I'll
and
email.
Thursday?
And
Yeah.
if she's still not feeling good, then I'll do it. It's not a big
It'll
deal.
either be you or Julia. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, you
Cool.
guys have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.